Greetings, class. Dr. T, broadcasting from my ranch. And I want to thank you for your inquiries regarding the Repl.it interface and how it has changed a bit. For me, that is a fascinating and a wonderful challenge. As a developer, tools change, but that's okay. Our processes remain. We know the HTML skill, therefore, no matter what platform we develop in, we're able to be successful in this industry. So because Repl.it has changed a bit, I wanted to do a video in which you see me kind of working my way through it. Let's see what happens if we change our prompt a bit, work with the agent to try to get us a base, just plain blank template. But let's work through it live here together, and I'll share this video with you if we're able to get a successful product. But I believe we can. So let me go ahead and share my screen. The first thing to remember is that you can do basic web development using Notepad and zip files. That's really the way that I learned it way back in the day, 26 years ago, when I wrote my first lines of HTML code. So if we look through this, I gave you an assignment 0 prompt, but because Repl.it has changed a bit, I'm going to try to get down to the nitty-gritty basics with it and say, you know what, I'm a beginning website student. I wish to develop a website project on my own on this platform using platform by writing my own code, starting with an index.html, a style.css, a script.jss, make a simple hello world heading on the index.html and run the website from index.html in preview mode. Let's see what happens if I give the agent that. Says the interface, when you click new, okay, actually it has a new website drop down, which I'm going to definitely experiment with. But let me go ahead and put that prompt right in here and see what we get. We want the free chat. Don't pay any extra money if you don't have to. And so the agent is working behind the scenes to help develop the backend platform that you've seen me do in many of the videos in this class for the development process. And so we're letting it do its work behind the scenes. And what do you know? He's opening it up in preview mode for me. That is our entry point. Let it do its thing. And I like seeing this because what that's doing is actually putting that kind of background process in place. And then ultimately, we're going to open up that file tree. So I like that. So I'm going to give you all that revised prompt as it is August 2026 here in the year of our Lord. That made Repl.it a little bit happier. So now I'm also going to open up the file tree over here. And I want to see the file structures developing for us. It might be slightly different in everyone, but always look for that artifacts folder because it's under that artifacts folder whereby we're able to find a lot of it. So it's not ready to be published to the public yet. That's how you would do it at the very, very end of this process. So we're not going to do that. But what we do want to do is make sure under artifacts and under maybe this, they call it the Hello World website, there's the index that we really, really want to see. So he said checkpoint done, agent has done his thing. He opened it up in preview mode for me with that simple prompt. And now I'm looking for under this Hello World website, index.html, wonderful. Hello World. P and Dr. T is who? I know I am. I know I am indeed. So it created a folder structure whereby the style.css is here. Okay. And also it made a primitive place where the JavaScript is running. I actually, on that index technically it says that style is one folder up. That's what the dot means. Really, unless they put it under source, no, because style is sitting right there. If I was writing this, I would really put style like this. It's just more, it's in the same root folder as index. So that's where he should be. But these are just some nice kind of ways that we can kind of work with and play with it. So the hello world has a heading. The CSS can be edited right here, style.css. They did this box bordering and that type of thing that's brought everything down. They're doing some things with the heading 1, putting margins on it. If I don't like that, I say, you know what? Out of there with that, back to preview, and we're off and running in terms of a lot of things. I think that box style is also what's making everything go down on the page. So it's just Dr. T kind of cleaning up the tool, not letting it get in our way of development. If anything, you know what? You say, yeah, okay, plain Jane, plain Jane. So that's just me going in and having fun working with these many different elements. You're mainly going to be working with style and index in this class. So if I wanted a different background color, I certainly could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros is black. Okay. And white is 6 Fs. And there we are. We're developing on our own, and we gave Repl.it a chance to get us a nice primitive server. I certainly will post this code for y'all. But let's have a little fun because I want to show you a nice and contained kind of other web page across multiple platforms. So in Repl.it, if I take that code that I've written here and I say, this is some Dr. T test code with embedded JavaScript, some embedded CSS, preview that. Look at my cool looking page here with even a little button on it. And it demonstrates how HTML, CSS, JavaScript work as a single file all together. And in that preview, I'm off and running for the project of this class. Remember that every page, every image, all your items need to live under this Hello World website. So when I click on this and I say new, and you're working on a new file, it put it down there. You say, oh no, I'm going to name it down here. Let's say if I call it assignment 1 McMillan.html. If I name it, and I'm going to make sure I physically move it right there. Okay, so important. This is a very, very path specific environment. And in that, we want to make sure that we indeed work through the process of adding your new code and your link structure from index to this so we can get around using preview to help us. All that's coming in our upcoming videos and processes thereof. But that was me trying to help you get started and clean up Repl.it. Sometimes we got to get down to the nitty gritty and got to change things for that environment. You say, Dr. T, I can't afford Repl.it. It's complex. It's always buggy. Let's try something different. We'll talk about that here in just a few moments. But remember with Repl.it, please, please, please make sure you invite, you turn on that join share URL for the purposes thereof, make a private join link. You see this? And so you copy that link and make sure it has the word join in it. That private join link you send to me is how I'm going to grade it, how I can get into your code, how I can help you troubleshoot. So please, please, please make sure that you invite and do a private join to me. You can use this button here to download a zip file of your project. And certainly that's another way to kind of work through the Repl.it interface. But I'm pretty pleased with this. I got a hello world, nice and clean. I know how to move things around and work in a Repl.it environment, not just accept what it gives me, but say, you know what, get out of my way. Let me get my code on. So students, I will post for you and edit assignment number 0 to have my revised prompt here for the Repl.it purposes. But you know what? Back in my day, I didn't depend on Repl.it and all these tools. I had plain Notepad like you see here. Beautiful black and white HTML code doing its thing. Let's talk about a tool that if you're in a Windows environment, you can install Notepad++. absolutely free, wonderful environment for getting our code on. You just have to do some manual ways of managing your code. You download and install it for the Windows environment, and you're off and running. Let's see it in action here. Notepad++ on my computer. I pasted that code that I just also put in Repl.it. Now you have to be a manager of files and folders in this environment. So you have to be really conscious about developing new folder project, new website. Dr. T, making sure that everything I do is contained within that new website folder, making sure I physically name the files, case sensitive index.html. I'm showing you how I do this in the real world, y'all. Notepad++ is smart and it recognizes that this is an HTML file. Now, I go and add extra pieces of code. I'm coding away. Dr. T is cool and code and HTML is cool. And y'all know this to be true. We take that and then we say Control S, save, make sure that this turns from red to indeed blue. And now make sure you preview it. So in downloads, I'm going to open up the website project. And if I double click on index, what do you know? There's my preview. Offline preview, offline work. Make any edits. Watch this, edit. Control S, back to our page. And you must F5, tap your keyboard in Windows, refresh. And there's my edits. Okay. At the end of the day, if you use this offline free process, Notepad++, please make sure you've closed your work and then navigate to the top level folder. In the Windows environment, you right click on that folder and you say send to compressed zip folder. This is the Windows 10 environment. Windows 11, you say show more apps, open more, send to compressed zip folder. It is that zip file that you use for your backup purposes and that you upload to me for my grading purposes. Cool offline Notepad++, Dr. T's preferred method in the real world for doing HTML development. Absolutely free. You don't have to worry about paying for Repl.it and those other tools. But Dr. T, well, I do want to have an online interface. I'm on a Mac and these things are tougher to navigate. What do I do? So first things first, when you return to development here in the Windows environment with Notepad++, remember you can right click on an index.html file, use edit with Notepad++. Boom, miracle computing, you're back into the code and you're off and running. I also offer in this class another browser-based alternative, especially for you Mac listeners. Are you listening to me? There's a tool out there called Code Runner that's very much like Notepad++. You can install that for your Mac. But really, the Windows environment is the best environment for programming. I know you spent a lot of money on the Mac, but I'm just telling you, if you want to be productive in development like I've done for many, many years, you have to develop on a Windows PC or use a cloud-based environment. So that's just a hard truth that Dr. T is telling you because I care about you and I'm telling you how to be successful in this industry, most successful. But if you want to, go get the Code Runner app. I believe it's at this time $19 or so. You have to pay extra money or work in the Windows environment, or as I'm showing you now, program is HTML. And watch this, folks. It takes the guesswork out of it. You simply code here on the left-hand side. You get a live preview over here on the right-hand side. So as I add extra edits, you see them live right away. Your CSS already, style is already there, the JS is already there as well. Only difference is you got to keep track of your code, folks. Make sure that you download it offline. It becomes a zip file. Give it a name in convention that makes sense. Assignment 0. McMillan. Okay. And we're off and running as another alternative free tool for the developing in this class. Now, make sure that you give me the entire zip and not just index and style or try to give me that. That's not going to work. That's the URL to the Programmer is compiler, but I don't see what you have typed unless you give me the zip file here. So folks, this is Dr. T saying I'm there for you. I hear you. Interfaces change, but through this video, I have given you 3 different ways of running HTML for this class, 3 different ways of submitting it. And then through zip files, through the live URLs, through the join share URLs. This is by order of preference. I'd rather you develop in the Repl.it environment. That's what all my videos are doing. But you still have good old fashioned Notepad++. I love that. That's my favorite way to develop. I have a lot of fun developing in that tool. Or you have the online alternative free platform Programiz. The choice is yours. Many, many different choices. I'm a Mac user, and this is a Windows PC, but I mentioned Code Runner 2 Mac. It might be version 3 or 4 of these days, but Code Runner is that nice. I mean, I love it. On my Mac, it's a great development platform for many different ones. Again, you can do PHP out there, you can do JavaScript, you can do CSS, HTML. You just have to make sure that you manage your files well on that Mac. And you do have to pay a little bit of money in the App Store to get it. But this is just Dr. T geeking out on many different ways of developing in this class. Book a live appointment with me, and I'll be happy to help you one-on-one with any of the elements here or any elements of the class. I thank you for your kind time and attention. Coding teaches us patience. Don't panic if things don't look exactly like my videos. Think about learning the code, learning the processes. That's what we're here about. The key is that we're learning to grow together. We are taking chances, making mistakes, getting messy, like Miss Frizzle said. I thank you for your kind time and attention. Dr. T signing out for now. Get your coat on.